What up, guys, and welcome back to Thomas Reacts here on the 360 experience with myself, Thomas Mabaso. It looks like the fight between the former Secretary General of the ANC and the current Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, is still ongoing. Man, you know that not so long ago, the Fikile Mbalula actually accused Ace Magashule of working against the African National Congress. He's not even surprised that Ace Magashule opened up his own political party because he believes that Ace Magashule has been conspiring against the African National Congress, has been working to destabilize the African National Congress, and he went far. He went further to say that Ace Magashule basically started the A.T.M so that they can eat away from the African National Congress. So guys, recently the leader of the African Congress for Transformation, Ace Magashule, who is the former Secretary General of the ANC, went to this podcast, and on this podcast, the Shirts podcast, he was asked about the thing of him and Fikile Mbalula, and Fikile Mbalula saying that he worked against the African National Congress, he conspired against the African National Congress, and he basically started the A.T.M to destabilize the African National Congress.
You never established A.T.M?
Never.
You were never involved in the establishment?
Not at all.
So you never met in some hotel somewhere because the stories...
Not at all.
Yeah.
The SG, Fikile Mbalula now says you are the one who facilitated the establishment of the... I was saying is lying.
This is not new. We are the incumbent. We are in charge. We run the country. Everybody, when they open their mouth, they do the easiest and the lazy job of complaining and attacking the incumbent. That's why people are forming political parties like mushrooms, because they've got hope that if they criticize the ANC about the defects in terms of governance, they will make it at least one seat in parliament, at least 2 seats, family, husband and wife, and all of that. So they are hoping for that. With what we see, the shenanigans of Magashule, it's not new. Magashule has long worked inside the ANC for the proliferation of political parties. He formed them. A.T.M was formed by him. And that decision was taken somewhere in a hotel in Durban. And then that is why he formed a party called ACT. When they formed A.T.M, the first option was ACT. And then they resorted to the name A.T.M later. That's why the colors are similar. It's one and the same thing.
Remember, there is an intelligence report which talks about him. And that guy who talked about me, that guy was well protected. He even stayed at the parliamentary village. That story came out, remember, in the Sunday World. I can go deeper into that, and that's how A.T.M was destabilized, because that chap was even given money.
How was the operation in destabilizing A.T.M? Are you aware of the actual activities that were done to make sure that A.T.M does not see the light of day?
Well, the chap was funded, and he came out and he said, A.T.M, this thing, and they tried to delegitimize it by saying even Secretary General, even probably President Zuma was part of it, the establishment, no such a thing.
But then why would that be the case? And worse now, if it's recently repeated, Fikile Mbalula, the current Secretary General of the ANC, is on record as early as on the 1st of August, saying you are one of the people. What do you think was an issue with ANC and the A.T.M such that there is investment to destabilize?
One day I will talk about not just the A.T.M, I must even talk about Good Party and tell you a story about Good Party. It's just that I'm not an angry member of the ANC. I respect that office. To be a Secretary General of the ANC, it means something serious. You don't talk about people. You don't become petty. Because you remember from as many years ago, I can play some clips where Fikile Mbalula recognizes the fact that I also nurtured him. Even if you want those things, I can give you so that the public must know the real thing. And you remember, even as we were going to conferences from 2012, 2017, we were together with Fikile Mbalula. We all did not want President Ramaphosa to be president of the ANC.
And guys, why do you think the ANC has invested so much in Ace Magashule, man? Why is the ANC so interested in what Ace Magashule is doing? Because I don't understand, man. Because you kick the guy out, the guy opens up his own political party. Why is the ANC still after Ace Magashule? Why are they still accusing him of all sorts of things? I mean, like, guys, what are your thoughts on this whole thing of the African National Congress, of the Secretary Generals fighting, man, and accusing each other of all sorts of things? Is Fikile Mbalula trying to distract Magashule from actually campaigning to make him focus on the African National Congress so that they can call him an angry member of the African National Congress? Is that what Fikile Mbalula is trying to do right here? Because every interview right now, Ace Magashule has to defend himself from something that Fikile Mbalula said some time ago. Right now, I don't understand when I don't remember when was the last time Ace Magashule was basically talking about his policies, what he wants to implement, the kind of governance he wishes for South Africa. When did he speak about that? Because every time he does these interviews, people, they keep talking about the African National Congress and how healthy it is for him to keep talking about the African National Congress when he has his own political party to focus on. Because what these people are doing, like they are simply depriving us of knowing what Ace Magashule is putting on the table by keep talking about Fikile Mbalula. So is Fikile Mbalula actually succeeding in this whole thing by making Ace Magashule focus on him instead of focusing on the people and tell the people what is it exactly that he wants to do?
On that one,
of course, that's why we're going to see the contradictions in politics. In Marxist terms, they call it negation of negation. Contradictions, but sometimes the contradictions are healthy. In 2012, myself, Zweli Mkhize, Sihle Zikalala, Supramo Mapelo, Phumulo, Masuele, Nomvola Mgonyana, we pushed Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa to be the deputy president of the ANC. You must remember that time he was not in the political space after, and then COSATU and SACP did not want him to become deputy president. But come 2017, it is us, the same people, who says, no, we don't want Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa to become the president of the ANC, including Comrade Mbalula. Me and him address delegates of the Free State in my hometown in Paris before traveling to Nasrec. But then COSATU and SACP, this time around in 2017, remember 2012 they said no. In 2017 they said yes, and us in 2017 we say no. Negation of negation, contradictions.
But this thing, guys, is like, it's a bit confusing. Like in 2012 you guys were promoting Ramaphosa, but Ace Magashule is not being open right now with South Africans to tell them that, okay, in 2012 we were pushing for Ramaphosa, but in 2017 we were no longer pushing for Ramaphosa, and these are the reasons why we were no longer pushing for Ramaphosa. He's not telling us those reasons why. He keeps saying that in 2012 we were behind Ramaphosa, but in 2017 we didn't want anything to do with Ramaphosa. But he's not telling the South Africans what is it exactly that made them stop supporting Ramaphosa. He's not telling South Africans what is it, because even in the recent interview there, man, with McG and Sol Penduka, they even asked him about the same thing, and he said that these are the kind of things that he cannot discuss. But when you keep saying that in 2012 you were behind Ramaphosa, but in 2017 you were no longer behind Ramaphosa, but not telling us why, what are the reasons why, how do you expect people to make sense of that, man? We can't make sense of this thing.
healthy, political.
And that was based on what, Dr. Magashule, for you as the elders within the ANC who didn't want him to succeed to the presidency's office. What was that based on?
No, we wanted another leader.
Okay.
Why?
We wanted Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma.
Okay.
We were talking about the history, and principle-wise, we wanted a woman president.
Yes.
But amongst women, we are picking up. You must remember, during Sasso days, Comrade Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma was the deputy to Steve Biko. Bantu Biko was the person who, when there was a political vacuum, who conscientized us as black people, black consciousness, and we became aware of who we are, and we became proud of who we are, our skin, our hair. We said we are as the same as white people. If there is nothing superior about white color, and there is nothing inferior about black color. So Biko made us to know and love ourselves and feel confident. And I'm one of those people, I feel so confident because I was conscientized the right way by Bantu Biko, and Comrade Nkosazana during those years was the deputy.
You were conscientized the right way, but you still supported Ramaphosa, man. It makes no sense.
To Bantu Biko. So when we look at leadership, that time, we had to say we want a woman, and this is the type of woman we need, who has been in trenches. Yeah.
Now you're talking about Ubuntu, you're talking about being conscientized to life yourself. I just want to close this matter. Are you prepared to, or do you think it's worth it to take it any further, that over and above being expelled, you continue to be accused by the SG of the very same party, the ANC, that has expelled you, of during your time as an ANC member of the ANC, that you facilitated the formation of another political party? And if I say you've just confirmed that there is no such thing, do you feel aggrieved, and is there anything that you want to do about that? Because clearly, if it's not true, then Fikile Mbalula is lying about you, potentially defaming your character as a human being.
That is politics. That's the nature of politics. And I'm not here to talk about Fikile Mbalula at all. Remember, the ANC even established a committee to investigate.
Led by my friend
Frini Ginwala, Titus Mafolo, Krishna Idu. That committee did not find me anywhere near establishment of any political party. If it was the case, I will even say today, yes, I was part of it, but I was not. I was never part of it. Yeah. So
Yes.
I respect the office Secretary General. That movement is the movement of the people of South Africa. It's not the movement of leaders. So that's why I say things have changed. The character and the leadership have changed. And that's why I think South Africans are suffering today, because things have changed.
And when did you realize that things have changed, man? Because Magashule likes going out and start saying all of these things as if he was not an executive there at the African National Congress. If you are the Secretary General of the African National Congress, you are the executive, man. You are in the top there, man. But he talks like he was not there. He pretends like he was not even like he was not even part of the problem. Like, not so long ago, he was talking about the fact that the roads in South Africa, they have potholes. He was talking about how bad the roads are in Vaal. He was talking about the fact that South Africans are jobless and all of these things. And when you look at this guy, you're like, man, you were the Secretary General of the African National Congress. What did you do? You cannot go out there and start defaming the African National Congress of service delivery, load shedding, and the poor infrastructure when you were in the top there in the African National Congress. The question is, what is it that you did there in the African National Congress to make sure that the lives of young people, or to make sure that the lives of people, to make sure the lives of average South Africans are better? I mean, what is it that you did when you were still in the African National Congress? So I don't know, man, how Magashule is going to perform in 2024, man. I don't know how his party, the African Congress Transformation, is going to do in 2024, man. So, guys, what are your thoughts, man? Do you think that Fikile Mbalula was telling the truth by saying that if Magashule is the one who basically formed the ATM to destabilize the African National Congress? What are your thoughts, guys? Please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.